Now we're going to summarize what we have done today. We continued on this section of the range of how Samadhi is attained. We looked into the inconsistency in the Dre Davita Kasota. We are regarding thought and examination before jhana and during jhana. I also explained on the practice of kayasati or kayagatasati and pointed out unusual ways of attaining samadhi according to the compilation made in your book. And we ended discussing the 4 types of development of samadhi. Now, in the Dre Davita Kasota, it is stated that prolonged, repeated thinking and examination was supposed to make the mind far from samadhi. That was before the jhana was attained. Yet, after stilling the mind, the first jhana, which is accompanied by thought and examination, was attained. So this seems like a contradiction, and it's kind of difficult to fathom unless there are different meanings for vitakka and vichara used in the description of jhana and in the description of pre-jhanic practice. So before jhana, there's vitakka and vichara. During jhana also there's vitakka and vichara. The vitakka and vichara about wholesome things, right thought, was found to be excessive and does not lead to samadhi. And after stilling the mind, then when he goes into jhana again, he gets back vitakka and vichara. So this looks like it's a bit, it's kind of inconsistent. Alternatively, we could view this as a transmission error in the Pali version, as the first jhana was skipped in its parallel found in the Chinese Agama, 102, in the Madhyama Agama. Now, regarding this inconsistency, I think some other people here, some other participants, including the monastics, have also shared their views. And I think their views also should be considered. I'm not saying that what I have here is the final view. This is only my view. Yeah, maybe other people's views might be more correct. So please be objective when you arrive at your own conclusion. Now, in my book, I translated Kayagatasati Sutta as mindfulness gone to the self. But I corrected myself by saying that in the Kayagatasati Sutta, the term kaya in there probably means body, because that sutta is suspected to be a composite sutta, which means that it's a copy and paste job from various suttas and put together. And the compilers had in mind kaya to mean body rather than the self, which is evident in the composition of the sutta itself, because in the sutta there are many exercises, and all these exercises seem to refer to the physical body rather than to the self. However, in some other instances, in 8 out of 27 occurrences in the early suttas, when kayasati or kayagatasati obviously refers to the guarding of the sense doors, kaya means the subjective experiencer through the 6 senses, the one that is reacting or responding to stimuli coming in from the 6 senses. Practically, this means continually looking back at how the mind responds to what is perceived through any of the 6 senses. Mindfulness gone to the self is therefore a form of introspection that can follow open awareness meditation. Now, the difference between Kayagatasati and open awareness meditation, according to my understanding, is this. In open awareness meditation, you just step back and allow the mind to flow among the senses. Right? In Kayagatasati or Kayasati, you look back at the mind to see how it reacts or relates to what is coming in through the senses. and then you guard it from being overwhelmed by likes and dislikes regarding what is happening at the senses. There is a difference. In open awareness, you don't really look at the mind reaction. You just try to stay with the senses. That is sort of a samatha practice, to still your mind. You're not doing any investigating. No investigating, you're not interpreting anything, you're just trying to stay with the present moment. Yeah? As many modern mindfulness teachers like to say. But if you stay just with the present moment, that means being with the senses, without any interpretation, without any judging, that is just samatha. Right? So in Kayagata Sati, in mindfulness gone to oneself, it's different. There are values. There are values involved. The value is that you don't want the mind to be overwhelmed by likes and dislikes. Number one. Number two, you try not to grasp at the signs and features of the sense objects. This is part of the stock phrase in guarding the doors of the senses. Having seen a form with the eye, he does not grasp at the signs and features. He guards the eye faculty such that likes and dislikes and other evil, unwholesome states do not flow into his mind and overwhelm him. So is this guarding? There is a sort of interpretation, guarding the mind so that these evil, unwholesome states do not come in. So there is some sort of value judgment there. Not just bare awareness, not just being with the present moment. Okay, now I went through unusual ways of attaining Samadhi. For example, MN 20, Vitakasantana Sutta, shows 5 ways of attaining Samadhi: substitution, reflecting, ignoring, questioning, and suppression. And MN 119, page 74, shows that all the exercises in Kayanupassana of the Satipatthana can lead to Samadhi. MN 122, page 76, shows that jhana equals Samadhi, but other suttas show that Samadhi need not necessarily equals jhana. AN 9.36 on page 78 shows that contemplation of the 5 aggregates can be done when any jhana is attained, or, in other words, when one is in jhana. Now, this sutta, AN 9.36, I think will need further research. There's one phrase inside there, there's upasambhajja viharati, jhanang upasambhajja viharati, which is usually translated as entered and dwells in the first jhana. Enters upon and abides in the first jhana. Anyway, that is beyond the scope of this workshop. Maybe I can talk about it later in a more suitable occasion. Because the commentary has this view that this contemplation of the 5 aggregates is not done while one is in the jhana, but when one comes out of the jhana. Although the flow of the Pali seems to suggest that it can be done while one is still in the jhana, although the object may change. The object that one was paying attention to that led to the jhana may have been changed to the 5 aggregates, but still the jhana factors are there. The mental states may be there. Okay, anyway, that one is a bit too profound for most of you. The 5th point is that the suttas under mostly naturally cultivated show that Samadhi can also be attained by ways that are not popularly regarded as meditation. Right? For example, Cetana Karuniya Sutta, where it says that if you have good sila, then automatically you will have non-remorse, and from non-remorse, you don't have to make any special effort, you will get joy and so forth, leading to liberation. It seems to be very natural, don't have to do anything special. Yeah. But we have been trying very hard and we're still not getting there. So this must refer to very special people. We also talked about the 4 types of Samadhi. And in this Samadhi Bhavana Sutta, AN 4.41, it shows that there are 3 other types of Samadhi besides jhana. And some of these 4 types can overlap. For example, jhana can be attained by developing perception of light. Jhana can be attained by developing awareness of feelings, perceptions, and thoughts, and by contemplating the 5 aggregates. And mere awareness of feelings, perceptions, and thoughts can lead to mindfulness and clear knowing, but not to arahantship, because he doesn't see the conditionality and there could be wrong view. Whereas only by contemplating how the 5 aggregates originate and go away, that is, only by understanding causality, can one attain arahantship.